mentioned, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا مِنْ أَمْرِنَا رَشَدًا. This is the portion of ayah number 10. But what is it?
Allah has increased in their faith, and so they were asking special mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
This is the dua of the people of the cave. Allah mentioned that once they decided that they are heading towards the cave, this is the dua. After making their strategy, after putting up their good work, they raised their hand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and made this dua. Right? And they were in a very difficult time, so that's why I recommended to, if nothing else, memorize at least this dua and make this dua as the daily routine dua for us and our loved ones and our family members, because we are living in these challenging times also. So, and the meaning of this dua is, Ya Allah, grant us a special mercy from, especially from you. Right? And we need Allah's mercy all the time, but a very special mercy and special mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we need facilitation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our affairs. We are doing our affairs anyway, but it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who can guide the affairs in the right direction. Ya Allah, guide our affairs and our intentions in the right direction. So this is the dua, subhanAllah. So this is one thing. Anything else that we discussed last week?
So in response to this dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase their iman.
And then Allah mentioned detail that how Allah took care of them. And Allah is taking Allah took the ownership of everything that the details Allah mentioned. For example, Allah says, we increase them in hidayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the one who increased them in guidance. We, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who strengthened their heart, right, when they need the courage, right? We, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who, when they were in the cave, make them turn right and left. So is this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So that's fine. Well, is there anything else that we learn that we can implement in our life, or something, that we can make this, a learning point for us that we can implement in our life and others? So one was this dua, that's fine. And as a result, a lot of things happen. And Allah mentioned the detail. That's fine, I understand. But what I would like to hear is anything practical thing that we can implement in our life.
If we plan something in future, we should say inshallah.
Inshallah. Two things. There are many things that we learn, but at least these two things are the core things that we have to, by closing our eyes, anybody asks anything, what do you learn from the ayah number 9 all the way to ayah number 26, what we discussed, and we learn one from ayah number 10, this dua. Right? Why this dua? Because we know how Allah gives this an example. Right? Allah tells us this story not for us to feel, entertained only. But there are lessons that we can draw. So what is the lesson? That we need to have, we need to safeguard our faith. And then this is a story in which they have already planned out their, their stuff, what's supposed to be done. And they make this dua. This is a very powerful dua that Allah has recorded their dua in the Quran. Alright, imagine how powerful it is. So we can, whatever we can get and implement in our life, inshallah, we should do that. That's one thing. Second thing is the lesson that we learn from the context also when Quraysh came in. I did not mention that, but now I'm talking to you. That when Quraysh came back, with these questions, they asked Prophet ﷺ, and Prophet ﷺ said, alright, fine, I'm going to tell you tomorrow. And then 2 weeks passed by. But then, how Prophet ﷺ is going to mention, because he didn't get any message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah sends down these ayahs also where he says, وَلَا تَقُولَنَّ لِشَيْءٍ إِنِّي فَاعِلٌ ذَلِكَ غَدًا إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. The Prophet, don't say anything I'm going to do tomorrow until you says, if Allah's will, which is insha'Allah. Alright? Insha'Allah. So this is, we need to implement this insha'Allah in our life with the true spirit. Not inshallah if Allah's will. By putting our effort, we see how hard Prophet ﷺ was, trying to communicate the message. But of course, he has trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But nevertheless, so we need to do our work also. We should not be using it casually, inshallah, which means I don't want to do it. If Allah wants me to do it, then it will happen. No, that's not the case. This is such a serious matter because it become a joke in the community. Inshallah. This is how serious Allah is giving the instructions to who? To Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's not for him alone. Through him is for me too. All right, it's for me too, because this what I'm responsible of my actions. To me too. So I need to be very serious about when I say inshallah, because this is not Allah is mentioned in the Quran. SubhanAllah, these two things. So that's wonderful, alhamdulillah. So now we come to the recitation part, inshallah. We'll see if somebody would like to do it, or otherwise let me do it first, and then inshallah if anybody else would like to do the recitation, that would be great. Again, the purpose of this recitation is not to correct your tajweed or our tajweed, or just to get ourselves familiarized, and we want to cover all the aspect, all the rights this book has upon us. The rights of the Quran. One, believe in it, whatever it is in there, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright? Second, we must know how to recite it. In the language it was revealed, which is Arabic. We must understand what it is, subhanAllah. We try to understand, we try to reflect upon it, and then implement the teachings in our life, and by doing all that, we should be able to share with others. So we try to cover everything, inshallah, all these aspects that this book is demanding from us as a believer, right? So that's why we're doing the recitation. So I'll do the recitation, and after that, inshallah, for a few minutes, anybody would like to recite it, 1 or 2 ayahs, inshallah, easily, that will boost our confidence. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واتل ما أوحي إليك من كتاب ربك لا مبدل لكلماته ولن تجد من دونه ملتحدا واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا وقل الحق من ربكم فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكفر إنا أعتدنا للظالمين نارا أحاط بهم سرادقها وإن يستغيثوا يغاثوا بماء كالمهل يشوي الوجوه بئس الشراب وساءت مرتفقا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا صدق الله العظيم. Anybody would like to recite? 1 ayah, 2 ayah, whatever.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واتل ما أوحي إليك من كتاب ربك لا مبدل لكلماته ये श्रद्धा के नीचे
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is on page 6. If you have your own mushaf, I prefer to recite from your mushaf, so that you are familiar. But just because I prepared it, thinking that if somebody comes without any preparation, I should have provided everything. So that is the reason that it's here. And yes, this is Usmani script, so they wrote it differently. There are 2 ways of writing it. If there is a haraka on shadda, under the shadda, which means it's a kasra, it's a zir, right? La mubaddila. But because we are not habitual and reading it that way. Yeah.